Hello, everyone. This is Dr. B with Gut Busting Entertainment, and I'm back again to speak on what our theme will be for this time. And the theme that we're going to be speaking on again is I knew you before you. And we're talking about God. God knowing us before us. We're going to be reading from Scripture, John 11:6. And I'm going to read that scripture for you right now. So when he heard that he was sick, he stayed 2 more days in the place where he was. And if I were to give you a subtopic today, it would be simply this. Have you experienced a Lazarus moment with God? Have you done that? This particular story talks about Mary and Martha looking for Jesus to come because Lazarus, his best friend, was sick. And when the news got to him that he was very sick, instead of him rushing to go see about his friend, he stayed 2 days longer where he was. Now, if that had happened to any of us, knowing that the one that says that they care about us didn't come right away, but stayed longer where they were because they felt that that was best for them at that time, instead of seeing about us, seeing about our situation, I don't know that we would have been able to handle that the right way. And so when Jesus showed up, Mary and Martha were frantic, they were upset. They told him, had you been here, he would not have died. They put the responsibility of his death on Christ. And many times in our lives, we have a Lazarus moment. We have that type of a relationship with God, silence. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't give us any kind of hint. He's quiet, and the majority of us would like to go into the thought he's angry with us. He doesn't like me. He doesn't care for me. He didn't hear me. Maybe I'm not saying the right thing. Maybe I should have said it a different way. Maybe I shouldn't have went there. And we have all kinds of thoughts when we're not able to get the response from the one who knew us before we were even conceived in our mother's womb, before we were given birth to, before we came to this world. He knew me. He knew what was going to be about me. He knew all that I would be and would not be. He knew the things that I would go through. He knew the sicknesses that would enter my body. He knew if I would have good health. He knew if I would have friends. He knew those that would love me. He knew. And I wonder, not only in his silence, if he knows, but for many of us, if he cares. But what they failed to realize, and what he wanted them to know, was that you don't know me. You don't know what I can do. You don't know my purpose. He told them, take me to the grave. Take me to the place where he lays. And when he got there, he said, roll back the stone. Because I'm getting ready to show you who I am. I'm getting ready to let you see something that maybe you was not aware that had been around you all along. I am the resurrection. I am the one who decides about life. I am. Because like many of us, we have excuses. When he told them to roll back the stone, they said, oh, he stinks by now. He's been there. And you should have come. You should have helped us. He was your friend. And many of us think that Christ died in vain, but he didn't. Many of us may even believe that when Christ cried or wept, as the scriptures said, at the grave of Lazarus, some say he was weeping over Lazarus. But then I looked at the scriptures again, and I saw a different point of view. Christ may have been weeping over the fact that no matter what he did, people still did not know who he was. He was the Son of God, manifested in the flesh. He was the resurrection. Oh my God. He was more than just a friend. And so their disbelief, their unbelief brought about sadness. How many of us have been around someone for a long time and we still don't know who they are? We still question their motives. We still doubt their good intentions. We still don't believe that they care for us and love us like they say they do. Christ spoke the words of life. Lazarus, come forth. See, he had to be particular because had he just spoke the words, come forth, everybody in the grave was entitled to come forth. So he had to address who he wanted to come forth. He had to let them know, I am the resurrection. I am the one that can bring life back into the very depths of not only your soul, but the physical body. Can the silence of God cause us to want to seek him more? He knows us before we knew us. Does it cause me to be curious enough to want to search his word to find out how am I supposed to respond, or if I'm supposed to respond during his silence. Is he trusting me to trust him more because he's not verbalizing it? Is he telling me that I am in a place with him so that he and I can have more intimate fellowship, that he can take me in his word and reveal to me in his word more secrets of glory? In silence, there is power with God. Sometimes we are asked to meditate. Let us not talk so much. Let us not have something to say all the time. Go somewhere and be silent with the one who knows you before you knew you. Let us sit down. Let us be quiet. Let us meditate on what he's already done, especially if you're in a place in your life where you have not experienced him in that way. Let me look back and remember what he's already done, that in the time of silence, I can trust him for what he will do. This is my thought for you today. Christ stayed 2 days longer. Then he came. And he did who he was. He brought life into the lifeless. Oh, my Lord. He spoke the words. Can God just speak the words and we'll take him at his word? Can he just tell us that he cares? Can he just say, I am with you? Can he let us know in his word, I have forgiven you? Don't give up on yourself. Don't you stop. I don't care what anyone else is saying. I don't care what anyone else has done. Don't you quit. I am the one that gives you new life, even in the time of your darkness. Turn to me. Trust me. This is our lesson for today with Gut Busting Entertainment. Part 3. God's silence. Then what? Because he knew us before we knew us. God bless you. See you again next week.